I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know if there's a real objective behind this, the live stream, besides just getting my thoughts out. And, after an hour since the worst Giants loss that I've ever seen, and you're going to sit here and tell me, oh, but how about the Eagles game? We knew that they weren't beating the Eagles in the 2022 playoffs. We knew that wasn't happening. Today, there was hope. Today, the Giants went into the fourth quarter up 19-0. They allowed 33 points in the fourth quarter. I have never seen a defense collapse that bad. And don't get me started about the kicker. I mean, I'm saying don't get me started. Trust me, I'm going to get started about the kicker situation. That's another thing. That's another story. But the way in which the Giants lost that game is worse than I ever imagined at any point in that game. Even after the Giants scored, when they got bailed out with 75 yards from penalties. I think the Broncos, the number one defense in the NFL, played one of the most undisciplined football games that I've ever seen in my entire life, and the Giants lost the game. And again, they had the lead. They had the lead. That Theo Johnson tip drill touchdown, which never goes the Giants' way, goes their way. He has a 40-plus yard touchdown. The Giants go up big, and for whatever reason, somehow, and I saw this stat, a few minutes ago. It's like, Kevin Harlan said it near the end of the game. Teams that were down. Give me a second. I mean, whatever. I don't think you need a stat. I don't think you need me to rattle off a stat for you to tell you that's one of the most improbable losses in NFL history. It really is. And now to have experienced two of those this year. Sorry. I mean, I'm kind of all over the place right now. I apologize if you want more coherent thoughts from me. I'm just giving to you exactly, like I want. I mean, again, I'm sorry. I apologize. This is going to be all over the place. The Giants lost one of the worst games that I've ever seen in my entire life. Not from just the Giants, not from Justin Football. Any game that I've watched, even like a red zone game, like on this, like I it's the worst game. Besides the Knicks and against the Pacers in game one, like that's the stakes of that game, like immeasurable. In game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, it's hot as hell in here. But yeah, I mean, either way, like that's inexcusable. The fact the Giants lost that game because they just didn't have a kicker again, and Jude McAtamy couldn't kick and can't kick extra points, like that's the bare minimum as an NFL kicker. It's 33 yards. It's a 33-yard field goal. And you miss two of those, you deserve to lose the game. You deserve to lose the game. The way in which they lost that game is pure Giants football. At its core, that's what this franchise is. A joke. They finally found their quarterback. Their defense showed up. And then the offense can't stay on the field. And the defense is playing possession after possession after possession. And they tire out. They don't get to the quarterback at the end of the game. There was zero pressure with the four-man rush. Even the blitzes weren't generating pressures. And that's why Bo Nix had all the time in the world to find his receivers downfield. After early in the game, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat over 15 yards down the field. Through the first half, all he was throwing was screens. And he's finally taking shots down the field. And albeit it wasn't necessarily working, but he was taking the shots. And then Paulson Adebo goes out with the injury. Deonte Banks comes in, and the game goes to shit. Deonte Banks might be the worst player in football. He might be the worst player in football. It is one of the worst coach games that I've ever seen in my entire life, and worst managed games as well. Because even with all that BS, the Giants win the game if the kicker can make 2 extra points. It's mind-boggling how this continues to be an issue. Continues to be an issue. They lost the game earlier on the season against it's really hard to believe. It's unimaginable they lost a game in that fashion again. The third time in 2 years. Third time. No other team is as incompetent as the Giants to be able to lose 3 games like that. The same exact fashion. The Giants just don't learn from their mistakes. Their biggest mistake was trusting Graham Gano going into the past 2 seasons. That's the biggest mistake. And it's been over an hour since the Giants lost that game. And if you're just joining now, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get my thoughts out here. It's not necessarily as coherent as I'd like it to be, but it's important nonetheless. And if you're just joining now and want to drop a comment to get in on this, Brilliant Hoops is kind of trolling me here. This is the Frank Isola burner. How is this going to affect the Giants to make? I'm not responding to that. Knicks Pacers Bridges. It was not Bridges. It was everyone. It was not just Mikal Bridges. It was everyone. That's another story for another day. I'm not going to address that. I don't need to compound this issue with the other worst loss I've ever seen in my entire life. And that it takes the cake. It's not even close. Knicks Pacers game 1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. I will never experience, hopefully, will never experience as excruciating of a loss as that was. But this almost came close, which is saying a lot. I just never felt like that after a Giants loss in my life. I haven't. I was furious. Furious. You cannot lose that game in that fashion. You cannot. 33 points in the fourth quarter. And the way in which they lost, again, I feel like I'm beating the dead horse right now. I'm repeating myself a lot right now. The defense collapsed. The pass rush, non-existent in that fourth quarter. The Bo Nix play where he scrambles and they go up in the game. Brian Burns down on the field. I could go on and on and on about small specific plays that I saw. And trust me, I took plenty of notes. I'm preparing to do one Giant step whenever Sean's off with Talking Giants. They're doing a live stream. I don't know why I just plugged that. Stay here. if you're looking for Giants content, don't go there. Don't go there, with all due respect. But I'm planning on that. So that's why I've got all these notes. The Giants made so many good plays in that game. They did. And they completely deserved to win it up until that fourth quarter. How many tip passes they have at the line of scrimmage? How many times did guys get open down the field against the best defense in the NFL? I mean, Daniel Bellinger, the first touchdown of the game, breaks free. No one's within 20 yards of it. Scores the easiest touchdown I've seen in my entire life. And that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game up until the fourth quarter. The Giants had their way offensively. They did. The number 1 defense in the NFL played one of the most undisciplined games that I have ever seen. I know there are a lot of general and absolute statement for me ever. I get it. I understand. It's not hyperbole, though. It's not. Like, a lot of the time I'll say that, don't actually mean it. I mean it this time. I do. I am shocked how poorly the Broncos defense played in that game. It's the most points they've allowed all year. To the New York Giants with a rookie quarterback. And with Brian Daboll as its head coach. And they still won the game. They won the game. That game was gifted on a silver platter to the Denver Broncos. Silver platter. Like, there's so many things that could go right for the Giants, go wrong for the Broncos, and the Giants would win the game. Jude, if he makes 2 extra points, they win the game. If the Giants converted their 2-point conversion attempt, because they had to score 21 points, it made it 19-0. It would have been 21-0. Giants win the game. If they stop one of those 2-point conversions from the Broncos, the Giants win the game. So that's 4 different scenarios in which the Giants win the game. Oh, and that's also not accounting any of the terrible defensive play calling down the stretch of that game. When the Giants came out in that last drive, there's 33 or 32 seconds left, and they're rushing 3 guys. And the Giants are in prevent defense. I wanted to lose my freaking mind. I was furious. And I'm sure I wasn't the only one out there. I'm sure there were plenty of other people who felt the exact same way in that spot. To go into prevent defense again after you lost the Cowboys game the exact same way is a fireable offense. Shane Bowen should not be on the plane back to New York after that game. To make the same mistake yet again, it's insanity. It's insanity across the board. With the kicking situation, with the defensive play calling, with the offensive play calling in that fourth quarter too. Jackson Dart threw a pick on, and that's inevitably what helped the Broncos win the game, because if the Giants punted down the field, it's still that the Broncos, they come down and score and make it a 3-point game, but they probably only have, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes left. All the Giants need is 1 first down. The game's over. And that's a different story. Like, the game is a completely different story if Jackson Dart doesn't make the first, I mean, the first real bad decision that he's made, or first big blunder he had, was against the Saints when he fumbled without being touched. And this might be even worse. Even though the Dart fumble did contribute to the Giants losing that game, and then this pick essentially put the Broncos back on the map in this game. Completely let them back into the game. But again, that was just one of many things that had to go wrong for the Giants to lose that game. Same thing with the Cowboys game. This is just what they do. This is what the Giants do. It's a reasonable argument to make that instead of 2-5, the Giants could be 5-2. Should have won the Cowboys game. Shane Bowen again, or before, I guess it's not again, for the first time in prevent defense. Should have won the Saints game. And then they should have won this game. 3 inexcusable losses that can almost directly be blamed on coaching. Almost directly. And front office decisions. Giants lose the game against the Saints. Rookie mistakes. Scadaboo had an awful fumble. Dart throws 2 picks. One isn't his fault. The fact that Darius Slayton, who was hurt, I don't think he helps the Giants win this game, is the number 1 wide receiver after Malik Neighbors goes down, is a disaster. And you lose that game partially because Darius Slayton is your number 1 receiver after Malik Neighbors got hurt. And in this game, Wan'Dale Robinson, he might deserve a contract extension. I think he will get one at the end of the day. I think they're going to reward him. He's been very solid this year with consistent quarterback play. Pat Surtain matched up a lot with him in this game. He also matched up a lot with Jalen Hyatt. That's another story for another day. Wan'Dale Robinson made some tough ass catches today. He did. He did everything he could have in this game. It ultimately boils down to how poorly the defense played at the end of the game and Deonte Banks being a terrorist. I mean, Deonte Banks, I said it before, if you're just joining now, thanks. I'm sure you feel the exact same way after that miserable defeat. Deonte Banks might be the worst player in football. I don't think it's hyperbole. You look at his PFF stats, and I know it's not, PFF ratings aren't necessarily to be completely trusted in terms of determining whether a football player is good or not. I mean, I do think that it's true to some extent, and it's a good measuring stick to how good people are. Like, again, it's subjective. I understand, and their metrics in terms of grading aren't well known. It's not very consistent. It's not totally reliable. You look at how bad Deonte Banks was in PFF, and you look from the naked eye with your own 2 eyes. He sucked last year, almost worse than his PFF grade showed. And he was one of the worst cornerbacks at PFF. And that's the guy who comes into the game. I looked up, hold on. I looked up this guy's name. Because I had no idea who the backup cornerback was after Deonte Banks. And listen, I'm not studying the depth chart at this point. Bo Brady, who made a good tackle on special teams later on in that game. Bo Brady, who did end up coming in at the game. He's number 34. He played at the end of that game. Try him. He's from Maryland. He's a year younger than Deonte Banks. Couldn't be much worse. Could not be much worse. There are a few free agent cornerbacks that legitimately could not be worse than Deonte Banks. It's impossible. He's terrible. And it is malpractice to continue to play him. I get that you had the injury to Paulson Adebo. That cannot be your backup option. You've tried it out. You've experimented with him time and time again. I get it. He was your first-round pick. Experiment is over. He has proven himself time and time again to be absolutely atrocious. He's terrible. And he's one of the biggest reasons why the Giants lost that game. The coverage went up in smoke. It was terrible. And I know that the Javon Holland injury doesn't help as well. Dane Belton was fine as his replacement. But man, I mean, it's hard to believe how big of a factor one guy on defense could be. Did it ever look like the Giants really had any sort of resistance on defense when Deonte Banks came into the game? I don't think so. I don't really. I'm assuming you're talking about Job, but Wellesley said, how does Bowen keep his Kobe after I'm assuming you said Job. That's a good question. Breach, Banks, a joke. I mean, dude, I've hammered this home so much. Like, I'm one giant step, my podcast, Sean Morash, going to be recording that after this. Maybe a late night for me. Long freaking day. Went to Syracuse this past weekend. I had a 3.5-hour drive, then a 50-minute train ride. Get here, watch that monstrosity of a game. Then I know this is my own personal life, but this just shows you how bad of a day I've had. Then I order a little wrap from the pizza place across the street. I go, it's not ready. They say, oh, we don't have your order. Sorry, but it's coming out. And I'm like, okay, like, is it actually coming out? They're like, oh, we don't have your order. You never ordered it. What app? I showed them, whatever. They're like, okay, we're making it now. So they're live, of course. Like, be back in 10 to 15 minutes. I'm just like, okay, like, this is already one of the worst nights ever. Let's just keep it going. Let's keep it piling on. I come back in 10 to 15 minutes. They've got it ready. They give it to me. I walk out. Like, no, come back. It wasn't a chicken Caesar wrap. It was an actual chicken Caesar salad. They go, you want it? I go, no. So I sit there for 5 to 10 minutes. They finally give it to me. And they give me some free stuff, of course. I open it. All they gave me is a free Poland Spring freaking water. What a terrible night for me. Nonstop. It's never ending. Thanks, Deonte Banks. Thanks, Shane Bowen. I mean, this franchise, this organization, finally get it right. They finally get their quarterback, and they still find a way to lose like this. They still find a way to lose like this. This is my guy, Justin Kingsley. Kingsley, what's up, bro? Dude, I mean, this is, yeah, I don't have any words either. I prefaced this at the start of this, the top of this, that I just like, it's going to be incoherent at times. This is going to be some rambling as well. Like, this is a therapy session. Like, I'd love to sit here and give you my well thought out opinion about why the Giants lost that game, how I felt after the Giants lost that game. It's impossible. Like, I let it marinate over an hour. I had to deal with that stupid ass rap situation that sucked anyway. It was terrible. And then I come back here, I eat my wrap. I mean, you know what? I'm still pissed. I don't know when I'll get over this. The one thing I could do in my life is the one thing that I can help me get over things. I talk my feelings out. If you know me, I'm an open book. I don't have it. I mean, if you know me personally, or if you watch any of my content, you could understand. It's very easy for me to share how I'm feeling. I wear my heart on my sleeve. This is my way of coping. Maybe it's your way of coping by listening to someone like me lose their absolute fucking mind over this. And I've been trying not to curse. My grandpa watched a lot of this. He's, don't curse. Respect. I get it. Thanks, Popeye. That was a fucking joke. Pathetic. It's pathetic. And I mentioned this before. It's insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And one thing in life, as you get older, and I'm 24 years old, I still have a lot of life to live. Probably won't have a lot of life to live if the Giants continue to lose those games like that, but I digress. As you get older and older in life, mistakes don't, like, as a kid, you kind of dread making mistakes. You could be a little, passive aggressive. You're not like going to take things. Maybe you don't want to confront that bully. Or maybe you don't want to, try very hard in PE or class, like whatever. As you get older, you understand that mistakes are good as long as you take something from them. Well, the Giants haven't taken anything from their mistakes. Anything. The kicking situation still happens. Shane Bowen running a prevent defense when the team that they're playing has to get to the 50 or 45-yard line, they don't learn from that either. It happened again tonight. It's unfathomable. It really is. These are grown adults who are paid to do this, who are paid to find ways to win, but they continue to lose the exact same ways. It's the same shit over and over again. It is very difficult to sit here right now and not be completely, utterly irate when it comes to this football team. And again, like, I don't love to be emotional about my teams. I like to be objective. I like to sit here and tell you like it is. But sometimes you just got to say, fuck it, and come on here and scream about why you're upset. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know I am. I know I'm beating a dead horse here. Do you agree with me? I think, bro, it's 8:50. I think my upstairs neighbors have had enough of my screaming and hollering. I've had enough of the Giants, so I think that it could at least be understanding. So apologies to you guys. I'll tone it down a little right now. I'll tone it down. I think we all need to take a deep breath and realize that, yeah, it sucks in the NFL. Whenever you lose a game like that, it's going to impact your week. Of course it will. It's only one game a week. It's a good point, Dad. Thanks for reminding me. The Knicks start Wednesday. Like that helps me. That'll help me sleep at the end of the day. I'm locked in the Giants, man. Like I host the Giants podcast. I followed this team religiously since the end of the season last year. A lot of people take a break when you host a podcast. You can't ever not be, involved with what the team is doing. And the Knicks were still in the midst of a massive playoff run. I'm still looking at what the Giants are going to do in the draft. I'm still looking at what they do in free agency. I'm still making podcasts. It's been, 8 months since the end of last season that I've been locked into this team? That's what makes losses like this that much worse. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. I'm speaking for everyone when I say this. There are a lot of people I know. I'm not saying I'm the only one who follows this team religiously all year long. I know there's plenty of other people out there, people that I know and very close with. I feel for them too. I feel for everyone. It's nothing to do with whether or not you follow the team, whatever. This is more of just my point that I'm making about the Knicks. Like, yeah, I'm excited. But expectations are 10 times higher than any other season for any of my teams that I've had in my adult life. So, like, if that goes to shit, I don't know what to tell you. There might be a death in Murray Hill in Manhattan if the Knicks blow a lead or a game like they did last year to the Pacers. And again, this is the same shit. Again, as I said, that game one loss to the Pacers was worse than anything I've experienced, considering the stakes. Considering it was the first game the Knicks played in the Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. Like, obviously, that's going to take the cake as compared to this, but doesn't make it any easier. Again, I've never felt like this as a Giants fan in my life. I haven't. I said this off the rip. People might say, hey, well, Bryce, Giants made the playoffs 3 years ago. They lost to the Eagles. You weren't pissed after that? Did anyone really expect the Giants to beat the Eagles that year? I certainly didn't. I definitely didn't. Did I expect the Giants to win a game in which they're up 19-0 against the best defense in the league? Fuck yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. So I just, I've been on here for almost 24 minutes. And I don't think it's become any more clear to me what the Giants will do going forward to correct these mistakes. And not necessarily what they'll do, whether they'll do them or not, whether they'll do anything. Will they figure the kicker situation out? Probably not. I mean, even though it shouldn't be difficult at all to find anyone who's better than Jude McAtemi, they'll still make it difficult. What do they do with the defensive coordinator who has no idea what he's doing? Who knows? They probably won't. Nothing ever happens. Take it from me as a Yankee fan. Nothing ever happens. Now I got to go do, whatever, 30 minutes of One Giant Step. Sean Morash, check it out wherever you get your podcast. This is kind of like the preamble for me. Hold on, I haven't even checked my phone. My texts aren't loading. But Yeah, man. I find it very difficult to be able to sit here and again put into words exactly what happened in that game. Uh, I'm sure you feel the exact same way. Like this isn't exclusive to me. Probably how millions of Giants fans feel after the game. On my excursion to pick up that wrap that wasn't ready, ran into 3 or 4 Giants fans. All felt the same. Like that's how it works when you're a sports fan. Like the camaraderie. Yeah, like it's great when you win, but you could tell who's a Giants fan based off the reaction. Like, yeah, some of the guys I talked to were wearing Giants clothes, and this guy who lives on my floor, he didn't know he's a Giants fan. He actually found my content online. He found one Giant step with Sean. He's like, "Hey, is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah." Uh, ran into him. You just know. You just know. There's a palpable energy, negative energy that is spread, not spreading, but very evident in the city. It is. And you felt it last year with the Yankees when they made the World Series. You felt it, especially with the Knicks playoff run last year. You felt it. It's the same here with the Giants. Like, this is a team that finally found a quarterback. They're up 19-0 going into the fourth quarter against the best defense in the NFL, with said quarterback dealing. You got all the vibes in the world. You got all the momentum. I'm not going to sit here and tell you there's no coming back from a game like that, but it's going to be very difficult to do so. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. I don't know how you recover from that. I really don't. I'm not trying to be negative Nancy or a lot of people think that I'm like that as a sports fan. I think it's realistic. I think it's fair to say that. He's a rookie. Jackson Dart. This is a huge test for him. The Eagles coming back, playing against the Eagles at Lincoln Financial. That's another test right there. Let's see how they respond after that loss. I mean, it's just I'm a defensive player, and I play my heart out. Brian Burns played amazing in that game. 2 sacks, gets hurt, comes back in. Was a non-factor of the injury. I don't think he did anything. No one got to the quarterback after the start of the fourth quarter. No. The thing I'm most disappointed in. You can't blame them considering the fact that the Broncos probably controlled the ball 80% of that fourth quarter and they were gassed clearly. If you got to send more blitzes, send more blitzes. I do understand the concern in sending more blitzes considering the fact that you have Deontay Banks in your secondary. You can't do that. So Shane Bowen gets a pass there. Anything else, any other decision he makes in that game, he does not get a pass for. Which, again, boils down to the prevent defense that he played when the Broncos needed to go down and kick a field goal to win the game, which shouldn't have been the case at all. Yeah, and I just got to text my friend because I'm really unable, as I'm live, to react or see anything that is being said by the players. But supposedly one of my friends just texted me that in the post-game scrum, Brian Burns sounded really pissed off. Yeah, I just said that. Literally a minute and a half ago, I just said that. He played an amazing game. I'm sure these guys are pissed. Even Brian Dable said, I caught this before I came on. He's like, the players did everything they could to do to win. They did. They did. The coaching staff let them down. Their kicker, and by extension, their GM, let them down. It's infuriating. You go from last week having the highest of highs to this week having the lowest of lows. And this is the NFL as a whole. It's all encompassing for the majority of fan bases, maybe besides the Chiefs. Every other fan base has experienced this, but this is at its core Giants football. It's what it is. Jackson Dart or not. Cam Scatterboot, all these good vibes that have been emanating from this team, this organization for the last week and a half leading up to the fourth quarter. They mean jack shit. Jack shit. When it comes to the bad juju and energy surrounding this team. You cannot lose that game. You can't. Would have rather gotten blown out. Giants cover in that game. They were plus 7.5, which is extremely disrespectful line. I correctly predicted that game. And I was looking at that line after, the Giants had the Theo Johnson, or before the Theo Johnson touchdown. And the Broncos were plus 550. And I would never bet against my team, but I'm like, pretty sure after that Theo Johnson touchdown, I probably went to plus 1,000. Again, I'm never going to bet against my team, but a lot of the negativity that I put out there came to fruition. I don't want to sit here and be like, I told you so, but I told you so. I did. All the reverse jinxes in the world that I put out there did not work. They didn't. So, yeah, I don't really know what more I could say. This is kind of like my pregame warm-up for One Giant Step with Sean Morash, whenever the hell he gets off the Top Talking Giants live stream. Hope that's soon. I need to just relax and let go. I'm sure you all feel the same way. So I'm going to end this, and you all enjoy your nights. Try to sleep well. I'm sure you won't, and I probably won't as well. But thanks to everyone for tuning in, and be sure to catch One Giant Step wherever you get your podcast tomorrow. I guess tonight, if you decide to stay up, probably be out for the next hour, I assume. But yeah, check that out if you're looking for some more Giants fan therapy. Fuck, man. What a bad loss. Terrible. Good night, everyone.